Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our little mini series for October about any spooky, scary games that would fit the Halloween vibe. Today we're going with another more lighthearted one, and that is a review of Luigi's Mansion 3. So if you somehow own a Switch and have not played Luigi's Mansion 3, you've been missing out. Praised by a lot of the Switch-owning population as one of the most beautiful first-party / Nintendo games on the console, Luigi's Mansion 3 offers a more light-hearted, scary vibe with Luigi's Mansion 3. With what I am assuming is very limited connections to the previous two games, as I have not played them myself, this game is a standalone experience that you can play no matter where you're starting in the series. Joined with the rest of the Mario gang, the group travels to a vacation spot and is very quickly turned into paintings. After being captured by King Boo in his plan for vengeance from what I can assume is the main only connection to the previous games, it is now Luigi's mission to find all of his friends, free them, and defeat the giant Boo. How are you going to take on Ghost, you might ask? Well, it is a vacuum. I'm not kidding, he sucks him up in a vacuum. Partnered with Professor E. Gads, who is another character that is pulled from the series, so we don't know much about him if you're like me and haven't played the first two. But he gives you a ghost-sucking vacuum and a Gooigi. It's a goo version of Luigi. I like him. And that's all you have. That's it. So now, you and Polterpup, your adorable little ghost dog companion, are now destined to adventure around each floor that you have access to using the elevator, and after each floor you will fight a boss and get the next knob to go further on your mission. So what makes this game so great? Why, after 7 years of the Switch's lifespan, do I still claim this as a classic Halloween game to play? Why am I still saying that it is the most beautiful game when this came out many, many years ago? It is just really pretty. So the atmosphere, obviously it is a Halloween game, so it is pretty dark. Literally, the lighting is pretty dark. And that really makes the glowing, they're not neon, they're not super dark, they're like a lovely in-between color. It makes them glow. All of the ghosts are different colors. They're like basically just walking balls of foamy light. And there's so many things in the background that just seem to pop right out because of the change in the lighting. Now, the cool thing about this game, to where you won't get burnt out by just essentially doing rinse and repeat, there's a lot of puzzles, and those puzzles are connected to the themes for each floor. Each floor will have its own unique aesthetic, its unique set of parameters to beat the floor, to get even to the boss of the floor. And they're all pretty special and really fleshed out. You would worry in a game with several floors that need their own unique theme and concept that some of them wouldn't be too great. Think back to like Princess Peach Showtime, a lot of people had similar worries, and myself included. But with Luigi's Mansion 3, that really didn't happen. Now, a sneak peek at some of them are, you have an entire just movie set dedicated to jumping into TV screens and playing the role to get certain items from the set and drag them to another set, make them work, and just continue until you finally have all the pieces you need to complete your little mini mission on that floor. Another will have you climbing a giant botanical experiment up through a bunch of different layers of floors and have a bunch of different little hidden things. You have to interact with the environment in unique ways. And some of these just have you maybe scratching your head for a second before you look around and realize you can move something or you can change an object in how it's facing. Now, make sure to keep in mind all of the abilities that your vacuum gives you, because it does give you a lot, and you can easily forget if you're, in the headspace of trying to search for an answer. So basically, it's a vacuum, so you can suck up the ghosts, and also anything else that is not directly attached to the floor or the wall. You can blow stuff out, so if you need to hit a button or burst something open, you can do that too. You can also throw this plunger-like thing, and it'll stick to a flat surface and you can yoink it back. Now, don't forget the most important contribution that this game has made to the series, Gooigi. Gooigi is very, very special in the way that he won't take really hits from bosses. He'll squish down and go back to the tube on your vacuum. And also, don't get him wet. But he can go through spikes, he can go through a sewer drain, he can go through bars and any really just tight space that Luigi can't. So there will be a lot of missions to where you might need a second person or just to get to a spot that you can't get to. Don't forget about Luigi, because he's probably the solution you're looking for. I just really love the creativity, and the challenge level is a pretty easy, slightly sloping upward. And a lot of the challenge doesn't even come from the bosses themselves, which go through the typical hit them 3, maybe 4 times and you're good. Now, yes, the bosses all have, of course, unique attributes to them. How do they attack? How can you attack them? What do you have to do to defeat them? That is something that I would always take a minute or two when I first start the fight to kind of observe. And that's really hard for me because I like to just go in and wail on things. But you can't really do that in this game. You really do have to wait and just find your opening. Especially in the medieval one. That boss is always just super challenging for me to just wait it out. But a lot of the challenge actually comes from the puzzles. There was a lot of times, especially in like the TV room that I mentioned earlier, to where I would have to figure out, okay, I know theoretically I need to get this item from this show, but I'm not sure how to get up there. And it would take me a bit to figure out how everything properly connects. And that is probably going to be one of the hardest things for you too, at least until the final floor where you have the big boss fight. I'm not going to go into spoilers for that because I do want you to experience that for yourself if you somehow haven't played this game. But I do highly recommend this. I actually loaned this game out to my friend, and her boyfriend are actually playing it co-op, because you can play co-op with one player playing Luigi and the other playing 𝕽𝕚𝕟𝕟. Now, yes, there are going to be some limitations, but for the most part, 𝕽𝕚𝕟 can do everything Luigi can. So it's not nearly as limited as, say, something like Kirby's Forgotten Land, to where, even though I love Bandana Waddle-Dee, you really can't do the same as Kirby if you're player 2 and limited to just throwing your little weapon. Now, there are a few things that you can buy in EGAD's store, but they really don't do a whole lot, so if you want to do more of a quick run or something, you don't have to go and explore every single room and collect every single piece of gold or money. I did that on my original playthrough and I loved it, but once I found out that I can't really get any rewards for collecting all of this currency, I was a bit bummed. I was really hoping you could buy something. But I would say if you are maybe someone who is more gaming challenged, or if you're maybe playing it with a younger sibling or someone new to gaming, do pick up some of the like golden, like the bones. Yeah, that actually will save you from getting a game over screen, and Polterpup will get the bone and bring you back. But for the most part, the other two don't really affect your gameplay as much in a positive way, unless you might be going for 100%. Now, if you are, make sure to look in the background of every single level, because there are some hidden little collectibles in forms of different gems, all catered to the theme of that floor. I can't remember the exact number, it's like maybe 6 gems per floor, but they're hidden in different things, such as maybe paintings, or underneath items that you have to knock away. So just keep an eye out if you do want to go for that 100%. So overall, I think that's all I can really say about this game without giving too much away and spoiling. I don't really want to spoil it for you if you somehow have made it all these years without playing this game. But please, if you haven't played it, do give this game a shot. I know that it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is really worth your time if you are at all interested in any type of puzzle game. And if you're someone who has played this game and I didn't need to sell you on it, but you watched it anyway, thank you, and leave your comments about what you thought in Luigi's Mansion. Like, what did you think about the game? What's your favorite floor? Drop those down in the comments, because I know I have my favorite floor and also least favorite floor. Drop that too. I want to figure something out if we all have the same most disliked floor. Leave those in the comments. But yeah, overall, that's it for me. Please play this game. I love it. And yeah, thank you for everyone who watched. I really do appreciate it. Apparently giving me a thumbs up is super helpful for getting the algorithm to know that you actually like my content. And also subscribe, and you can do the push notifications for whenever I go live, and you won't lose me to the sea of YouTube content. But thank you if you've watched this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you again in a new one. Bye.